In a previous video, I described the first optical landing system, the Mirror Landing 8. Its natural development was the Fresnel lens optical landing system. The most popular one is Mach 6 Mode 3, which was first tested in 1970 and had not changed much since then. In this video, I will present the details of its construction and the principles of its operation. The system provides a horizontal bar of light, also called the midball, that when viewed with respect to a set of fixed horizontal datum lights indicates the pilot's position in respect to the glide slope. Similar to the mirror system, the bar of light appears above the horizontal datum lights if the aircraft is too high, and below if the aircraft is too low. When the pilot aligns the midball with the datum lights, his approach is correct for a carrier landing. The centerpiece of the system is the vertical unit assembly consisting of 5 cells. Each cell contains the following elements: a Fresnel lens that focuses light in the same way as a semi-convex lens, but is much thinner and lighter. The lenticular lens, which is the vertical fluted lens attached in front of the Fresnel lens. It provides midball color and azimuth and helps to disperse sun reflection from the lens face. The lenses are colored yellow, except for the lowest one, which is colored red. Therefore, if the light passes through it, it is a signal for the approaching pilot that the aircraft is dangerously low. A light source. Each cell contains 3 lamps. If one lamp fails, the corresponding lamp in the other 3 cells will also go out. This provides constant even illumination from cell to cell. In such case, the source lamp intensity must be increased to compensate for the loss of one lamp in each yellow cell. Intensity in the lowest red cell is adjusted independently. It may also be flashed at a 45 times per minute rate. Despite the lack of moving parts inside and the fact that there are 5 separate cells, the midball passes smoothly from one cell to another, and for the approaching pilot it looks like a one light source. This effect was achieved by using a simple optical trick, utilizing the aforementioned Fresnel lens. For a better illustration, let me show you a simple experiment explaining how a single cell works. All I need is a simple magnifying glass with a semi-convex lens and a piece of paper on which I drew a horizontal line representing midball and a couple of dots symbolizing datum lights. Now when we put the glass on the paper and move the viewpoint back and forth, nothing happens. But when you move the glass a certain distance away and move the viewpoint again, you can see a clear movement of the line relative to the datum lights. This is because if you place an object at a distance smaller than the focal length of the lens, it produces a virtual image of this object, which is magnified and gives the impression of being at a further distance. Similar phenomenon can be observed in a single FLOLS cell. If you move the viewpoint up or down, the light moves accordingly thanks to the Fresnel lens. The light beam coming out of a single cell has a fixed vertical spread angle of exactly 20.45 minutes of arc. When the pilot's eye moves above or below this range, another cell takes over, creating the impression that the light moves smoothly up and down through the entire assembly. There are 5 cells, so the total vertical coverage of the whole system is approximately 1.7 degrees. The horizontal spread is 40 degrees. The light source and the Fresnel lens are aligned in such way that for the approaching aircraft, the light image appears to be 150 feet behind the assembly. 4 red wave of lights and 3 or 4 emergency wave of lights are mounted vertically on each side of the lens source lights. They are manually activated by a landing signal officer and indicate that the pilot must abort the approach at full power and go around. When a wave-off is initiated, 4 conditional datum lights go out, and the wave-off lights first flash at full intensity, then dim to the preset brightness. The emergency wave of lights are on a separate circuit and act as a backup system to the normal wave of lights. 4 green horizontal cut lights are located above the lens box. Cut lights are also operated manually by the landing signal officer using his pickle switch. Named for its original use in commanding aircraft on pre-angled deck landings to throttle down to idle prior to landing. Currently, cut lights are used to communicate with the aircraft during zip-lip operations or if for some reason radio communication is impossible. They are flashed for approximately 2-3 seconds to indicate that the aircraft is cleared to continue the approach. Subsequent flashes are used to prompt the pilot to add power. The longer the lights are left on, the more power should be added. Now you have to bear in mind that there is a particular vertical distance between the pilot's viewpoint and the tailhook. This value, known as the hook-to-eye distance, varies with the size of the aircraft and is very important when setting the correct glide path. For instance, if the pilot of a larger plane had followed the path designed for a small plane, he would most likely have cleared the ramp at wrong height and touched down at the wrong point. That's why it has to be properly adjusted in order to take this effect into account. It is done by tilting the assembly about the roll axis. Moving the lens about the roll axis rolls the meatball plane, causing the glide slope at the center line of the landing area to be raised or lowered, adapting it to the type of the aircraft. However, it is extremely important to stay perfectly aligned with the runway's center line, as any major deviation to the right or left will result in incorrect readings. Nowadays, FLOLS is being replaced by the more advanced improved Fresnel optical landing system, or just iFLOLS. They both work on the same basic principle and have the same overall components, but there are some differences. iFLOLS uses a fiber optic source light projected through lenses to present a sharper, crisper light. It also gives 7 additional cells for a total 12, providing more exact glide slope information, and the number of datum lights has increased to 10. That's it for today. If you like this type of presentation and would like to see more, please leave a like or comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.